The Z to Z podcast.
Hey, so welcome to the new home of Review Z. Or well, I guess we're not Review Z anymore. Do we move to Australia, Warren? Feels like we did.
I think we're down under somewhere.
Yeah. So this is, if you're hearing this live-ish, we're as you now see on Real Gamer Score. But if you're listening to us from Review Z, which we're also here, it's weird. It's like we're in two places at once, or we're not. But either way, we're moving or have moved. We're in the midst of moving. You know, we're between homes. We're in two homes.
It's a temporal anomaly.
Yeah, exactly. It's like when you bought your new home, but you haven't sold your other one, and those joyful people that have known the joy of owning two mortgages. Yeah, we're there, kind of, but we're closing down the one. So for those of us, or those of you, not us, who are listening to us Review Z, we've moved over to Real Gamer Score. And for those of you with Real Gamer Score, hi, Tarragon. We're here now. Oh, and,
aloha.
Yeah. For those of you who did used to listen to us, you know what we're about, or at least me and Warren and then the other guys. The whole crew is going to be here. And those who haven't, well, I'm just rambling about something that has absolutely no relevance or backstory. You could go dig around the internet for it, or not. It's up to you. I personally don't care. But anyway, with me is Warren, Planning 42.
Howdy.
Which actually, you know, it's funny. Everybody should know who you are from both sides because you've been a host on the Real Gamer Score podcast as well. So they're just not sure who I am. So I'm Spaz Paul or Damien. Either way. Oh, so did you already do G-Task? Well, I guess for everybody they need G-Task. Are you there?
Oh, there he goes.
Oh, there you go.
I think I lost you for a second.
Yeah, it's, you know, these new homes, you know, the internet's a lot more shoddy at times, but looks like we're back. All right. So, wait, something happened this week in G-Task, or was it last week? I don't know. I just saw something. I used to know we did team. Is that changed now? Are we now the solo side?
Yeah, we got stuck on the solo side now because we had a double period. We had an extension. So, yeah, that messed things up just a little bit. Now that we got you used to saying team.
I know. Exactly. I see, this is you. I finally was able to, he's not asking every week what they're doing. And now you're like, oh, now maybe I need to. So wait, what are we doing? What's your bye week? Fine. So solo, how many people are left?
Oh, you ask me this every week. 51.
Well, no, I was asking how many teams were left. Now I need to know how many.
Now you want to know people.
Yeah.
True. 51.
Oh, okay. And so I guess for those listening on the Real Gamer Score, you guys get even earlier notice than the Review Z people. If you guys had listened to Real Gamer Score, you would have heard this a day early. But you know what they say, day late and a buck short. But anyway, so what do those solo individuals have to look forward to?
They get one of the doubling bonuses. They get must play more, which means that they have to end the period with at least double the gamer score earned during the previous period. Could be a little work.
Sounds like it. Well, best of luck to y'all, 51 that are left doing that.
Right?
Yeah.
They can do it.
They can do it. Hey, if they've made it this far, remember, the marathon, it just keeps going. So we have this week for review, Sigi. Is it Sigi? I guess I don't know. I'll call it Sigi.
Yeah, I'm going Sigi.
All right. We like to tell our fine guests what Sigi is about, or well, give the stats on Sigi, Warren.
Okay, we are playing Sigi, A Fart from Melusina, which is published by Pixel.lu. Sorry, developed by Pixel.lu, published by Sometimes You, our favorite easy game developer.
Wait. I thought that was long time.
It was released.
You.
Lumtimal, sometimes. Depends on how well you read cursive. The release date was September 7th, 2018, so fairly recent. and it's a $4.99 on the marketplace. So yeah, it's the usual price point, not too hard to get into. It's a platformer with a TA estimate of 0 to 1 hours, which I've already blown well out of proportion because I think I'm sitting at like 4 hours and change trying to get past the Steam engine guy.
Yeah.
Ugh.
You really hate platformers, don't you?
It's not that I hate them so much. It's just that I suck at them.
Well,
I mean, I'll admit it.
You know, the fact that you've given 4 hours into doing it to get past there, you're like, well, at least to give you an A for the effort. So, yeah. So this is I guess there's actually some more, we've been told by one of the other host here, Real Gamer Score, that there's actually like not historical, but what would that be? Like the characters are actually of lore, right? Like this is, it actually substantiates something like the whole idea. Because like when I was playing it, you're like, why am I running around eating hot dogs? And why do I have gas? I mean, I guess again in the title, it's a fart for Melusina. So you're like, oh, farting, okay, whatever, potty humor, short platformer game, I guess. But I guess there's actually some background to this, like why this actually makes sense and what they were doing.
From what I'm told, yes. And honestly, if Epsilon Theta didn't tell me, he's honestly not a host. But I mean, I'm
okay. I knew somebody said something.
Yeah, it was Eps. If he didn't mention something about this, I would have never known. I would have never thought to dig into it. But yeah, apparently this actually is basically a humorous take on the founding story of Luxembourg. Sigi, otherwise known as Siegfried, sees Melusina on a cliff, and in the stories, he goes and asks for a hand in marriage. But hey, in this game, he chases her across a series of 20-odd levels or so?
Yeah, and they're very short levels. I mean, they're not, again, like there's an achievement to go through and 100% the game in under 30 minutes. So again, assuming you could finally figure out your pattern that you need for the Steam boss, you're going to be able to beat the game. The game's quick, but I think it's always that first initial run through and just how you do on platformers.
Oh, I know what I need to do. I need to go and play some of the earlier levels, get some more lives, because 3 lives just isn't enough for me. I need to brute force that.
Okay. Well, that's a way to do it too.
Sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, to jump back real quick into their lore. So the reason why we're seeing Siegfried and whatnot, the national dish of Luxembourg is basically a cabbage-based dish. So therefore, what you're seeing him eat is the national dish. Apparently, he's drinking their national beer brand, and I guess he farts a lot because, well, if you eat cabbage all the time, you'd probably fart a lot too,
especially with beer.
Especially with the beer or the cabbage. Oh man. Even Blind John, the first boss you come across is, and I would slaughter the name, but like Jean de Blanen, which is another folk hero from Luxembourg lore. So basically, if this is probably a bunch of devs that are either from Luxembourg or really look to this lore as like good inspiration, I guess, and then throw on a good take of party humor, potty humor.
Yeah. So. Again, we play a lot of these games. You go, oh, it's under an hour, 1,000 gamer score. That's fine. I did get a copy for the Switch. I became a Switch owner over the past few weeks. I know we don't really talk about other consoles on here, but I played the game on Switch as well, as because it's sometimes you. So I couldn't pop the achievements because, yeah, the fun. This is not a good game for. How does one say, sharing accounts? Like, unless you are the home console or the actual tag that owns the license, you're not popping achievements with this.
Yeah, I guess it's an unknown issue with some of the games that this publisher does.
Yeah. So, I was playing the game for the past week, 2 weeks for fun. So I played on Switch. I think Yellow Lego Guy gave it, I think if I look at the Nintendo parent controls, 5 minutes before he turned it off and just went back to playing Mario Odyssey. I gave him more than that, but yeah, when you're not playing this for achievements and you're playing it on a console like the Switch, you want to be, hey, for $5, hey, if you can keep my attention for an hour, that's not bad. But it was really rough. I mean, it wasn't. I mean, again, you're having problems with the one boss, so I don't know. Go figure.
It all depends on how good you are at platforming or how straightforward things are to you. I mean, I don't know. I guess that's just my take with the way the game is. I didn't really understand that you're supposed to use the arc of it to hit the top of the whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is, it's like, so it's a retro-graphic game. So you're coming in going, okay, somewhere between 8-bit, 16-bit, platformer. And so fairly simplistic in that sense. And so it goes relatively quick, but I just, again, you're like, it's $5, so I don't expect more, but even if $5 nowadays, you're like,
for $5 you get 17 achievements. It's a good mix of story, cumulative, and collection stuff. The collections are pretty easy. It's just you grab everything in front of you, pretty much: coins, Sigi letters, and then there's these caves you have to find, which that would probably take a playthrough or watching a guide to find them all before you make it yourself. But I mean, if you can do a speed run of this, there's an achievement for a speed run, by the way, in a half hour. So if you can do this entire game, find everything, beat all the levels, all the bosses in just 30 minutes, there's not a whole lot of content.
Yeah, exactly. And the ratio on that, beat it in 100, is like a 1.6. So at least on Track Gamers, over 37% of them, 273 have done it out of 730 that have played. So again, it's not super difficult. I think probably it's more of the, all right, you've beat it once or twice, you want to really go play through it again just to get the completion, which
pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, other than that, it's Super Mario Brothers for in-game and like an overworld of Super Mario 3 kind of. It's just, I don't know, simplistic.
Yeah. And I guess for me, like, that's it was kind of too simple. Maybe if you're from Luxembourg, it's kind of like, yeah, folklore heroes, woohoo, but unless you even knew, I was just like, just for me, you're like, it's cheap, it's quick. So if you want to do it for gamer score, fine. But if you were playing it, like, as I said, on the Switch, just because, hey, let's go play it, it didn't really do much for me. It just became one of those kind of unmemorable, meh.
Yeah. I mean, it's not bad. I'm not going to knock it because it's a platformer, just because I suck at it. But I mean, for $5, it's as good a gamer score boost as any other $5 gamer score boost there is out there. It beats Mr. Pumpkin Adventure. Okay.
Oh yeah, God, that was bad.
So hey, it's not bad.
Yeah. I've played worse.
Yes.
So, all right. Well, you found us at our new home, so I guess continue listening to us here, and we'll be incorporated into main show and all that fun stuff. So, thanks to our gracious hosts, and we'll kick it back over to the main show. Unless you're listening to this on Reviews Ed, then we're just signing out. But either or, till next time.
Peace.
Peace.